Hey y'all, happy Sunday. Welcome to my TFL, the Fit Law Recipe of the Week. I am making salad, and I know you're going to be like, Lauren, it's salad. But I swear, it's really, really good. This is my, oh shit, I have company salad, or oh crap, I have to bring a dish to pass. It's basically my scrambled together salad recipe. It's really, really easy. It's got an amazing vinaigrette with it, but it's kind of a cool mix of ingredients that you normally don't see. Honestly, this is a dump recipe that I did. And those, if you follow me at all, you know that dump recipes are like my favorite because I am a big believer in like, what's in the fridge? And this is kind of a result of that. I had to go to my neighbor's for dinner and I had to make a salad or something to pass. And so this kind of came out of my fridge. I was like, I have red onions and I have this and I have that. And it just kind of came together and it was delicious. So I've been making it a lot. It's also completely vegetarian. And it's just good. It just tastes good. So I'm going to just kind of walk through this. It probably won't be the world's longest recipe, but like, it's going to be delicious. I'm also going to have my phone over here. I gave up on Instagram just because I don't like that it doesn't save my videos. So I will be here answering your questions. So if you have any questions, please feel free to pop them below. Thanks for all the love. I see all the little hearts already. So if you have questions, just pop them below. Please tag and share with your friends so that they can get on as well. And we can talk to everybody. Okay, let me get started here. So it is a spinach-based salad, all right? Hold on one second. It's giving me a little warning. Okay, so it is spinach-based. I am not a fan of like romaine lettuce. I'm just not. I don't know why, but it's just not my thing. So I use spinach as a base for all my salads, okay? So now I have washed this already. This is actually my salad spinner, but I wanted to use this bowl because how cool that you can see me like making my salad in this awesome bowl, right? So I have basically one bag of spinach in here. We're actually not going to eat this tonight. We already had it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you guys how to put these in mason jars too, because I'm going to use them for food prep for the week. Hey guys, Jessica says she loves salad. Awesome. Hi, Catherine. Thanks for jumping on. Okay, so my spinach is washed. It is put in a bowl, and we're going to stick that off to the side. Now, red onion is going to be our first vegetable that we're putting in here. I used to hate red onion on salads. I used to hate it. And I'm a new believer of red onion. If you do it right, in the right amounts, it can be really good. So we're going to use about a fourth of this. So just cut off your ends. Keep your root intact, but cut off your ends. And we're going to peel this first layer off here. Okay. I'm so excited about the dressing for this too. It's so easy. So easy, but delicious. If you guys missed it, last week I wasn't live because, you know, it was the Super Bowl. I don't really watch the Super Bowl. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I pretty much only watch it with my husband for the commercials. Just saying. Oh my gosh, yeah, I love when you cook. Thanks. Pickled red onion is amazing in salads. It is amazing in salads. My husband hates everything pickled though. Like he refuses to eat anything pickled. We went out to dinner, when was that, Friday? And we got like a cheese board and it had pickled asparagus in it and he picked one up and popped it in his mouth and I was like, I immediately went, you know that's pickled, right? And he's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know. And he's like, it was so gross. So I love pickled everything, but he hates it. So we're going to actually only use a fourth of this, but I'm going to reserve half of it and stick it in my fridge. So I'm not going to cut this into fourths. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it intact like this and then I'll just use half of it because we're going to use a mandolin. So if you do not have a mandolin in your kitchen, please go get one. They're not that expensive, but they're awesome. So you have another option if you don't want to use a mandolin. All this is it's basically a board with a blade attached to it so that you can get even slices out of your food, okay? So for onions, this is amazing, especially for red onion, because if you want it like super, super razor thin, which is what I want, it gets them all evenly cut. Now, you can use your knife, but again, go slow. You know, practice your knife skills, make sure that you get them out, you know, get them pretty evenly thin because that we really, really want these thin. No one wants to take a huge bite out of a raw red onion. Gross, don't do it. So we're going to use about a fourth of this, okay? And all I'm going to do is slide this down my mandolin, okay? And as you can see, these come out, like, look at that. They're like paper thin. And it's awesome. So we're only going to use about a fourth of this. And I'm just going to put this right on my salad over here. The colors in this are really pretty as well. I mean, the purple of this. I think it's funny that they call it a red onion too, because it is purple, right? Am I crazy or is this purple? Pretty sure it's purple. Just watch your fingers. I learned that the hard way. All right, let's see. Love red onion. For my kids, I soak it in ice water for a few minutes to take some of the acids out. That's really smart. My kids won't eat this. There's no way. Evan, our oldest will eat salad, but it has to be with croutons and cheese and ranch dressing. And other than that, he will not eat salads at all. When you decide to make your own cookbook, because I know you will, I have faith you should make some gluten-free and dairy-free section. Absolutely. I hear you about the Super Bowl. Yeah, for sure. Okay. So that's actually, I'm going to do a little bit more because there's a lot of spinach in here. And just be careful, like I said, about your fingers because we like you with all of your fingers. All right. That's good. And then I will just reserve the rest of this. These are great to have in your fridge for like eggs scrambles in the morning. Do not pitch it. Ah, eyes are watering. All right. Stick that in my fridge. Okay, we are moving on. We don't need our mandolin anymore, so I'm just going to stick that over here. Now we're moving on to carrots, okay? Now, I have just whole carrots. I'm going to clean these up a little bit, cut off the tops, cut off the ends. Now, when I usually make this recipe, I use rainbow carrots just because I think they're pretty, but I don't have any. I just have orange, so we're going to go with it. But whole carrots do work best for this. I know baby carrots are easier, but whole carrots work better. And they're less processed, okay? Carrots don't look like that. Baby carrots are just ground up carrots that are formed. Okay, we are going to peel these, all right? So I'm just going to peel off this first layer, all right? And then I'm going to just keep peeling. And I'm going to use these ribbons in my salad because they look pretty. That will clear your cold right up. Yeah, I need it. I'm at the end of my rope with this cold, let me tell you. All right, so get rid of this. And now I'm just going to peel this right into here, okay? So if you want like these awesome strips, just use a potato peeler. You don't need anything fancy. It looks really pretty. It's super easy. Like who doesn't have a potato peeler in their house, right? Makes you look like you're doing a lot more work than you really are. All right. Now while we have this going, I'm going to toast some pine nuts. Pine nuts are pretty much my favorite kind of nut. They're amazing. They taste delicious, but they're even better when they're toasted. Actually, I don't think I ever eat them raw. I always toast them. So we're going to keep working on our carrots in a second, but I'm just going to throw these in a pan. So I have 2 packages, and yes, I toast them all, and then I stick them in a container in my pantry and just leave them in there so that anytime I need them, I can just like toss them on a salad. So we're going to toast them because these are raw, so I just have a pan. I'm going to pour these in here. All right. Get them all. These things are expensive. Okay. Medium low. Low. You do not want to burn these, okay? All right. Get back to this. So, the one thing about toasting nuts is you just really need to keep your eye on it. I always think that sounds so funny. Guys, I really want you to toast your nuts. Don't be afraid to toast the nuts, okay? All right, I wish baby carrots wouldn't exist anymore. So gross. Tired of trying to convince people that it's not a real carrot. It's so true. They're not. It's not what carrots are supposed to look like. Just like chicken nuggets. They don't come out in that shape. And then when you get to like the little end of this, like it gets to these kind of funny shapes, I just eat it. But I mean, look how much prettier that looks than just like slicing it, right? Yes. All right, we're going to do one more. And then let's talk about the rest of what's going on here. We're doing a balsamic vinaigrette, which I love. And if you haven't been on my live feed and seen me talk about my balsamic before, I love flavored balsamics. So I have a couple that we're going to pick from. And you guys are actually going to choose what the base of my dressing is, okay? Because I have a couple different choices. Let's get rid of these. All right. Like I said, I have my phone For the first time, Mr. Fitlaw's not out here with me, so I can't answer questions. I'm clueless when it comes to stuff. I had no idea baby carrots weren't real carrots. Yeah, they're not necessarily shaped like that, so they're actually processed. Just not really natural. You can buy these, and they're actually, I feel like in the long run, they're cheaper just to process yourself. I know it's a little bit more work, but like, put your kids to work. You know, I've taught our 8-year-old how to use a potato peeler. So when I buy big carrots, I cut off the top and the bottom, and then he peels them for me. You know, it's not, it's kind of something fun that you can do together, and he likes carrots, so we can put them in his lunch and all that stuff. So I do a lot more carrots. Obviously, they're a little bit more mild than the red onion, so I do a lot of them. I'm actually going to stop like right about there, because that looks good to me. And then these I will keep, and I will cut them up, and I will eat them tomorrow. Stick them over here. All right. My nuts are going. If you can smell them, it's too late. I'm just telling you right now. We need a sweet element. Dried cherries. These are unsweetened, unsulfured, sweetened dried cherries. I get these at Trader Joe's. There's no sugar. And if you guys have ever looked for dried fruit with no sugar, it is impossible to find. So as soon as I found these, I went crazy, and I ran and bought like 12 bags because they are awesome. I use them in everything. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know, like a handful. I'd say like 8 is a good starter, especially depending on how big they are. And then we're just going to kind of dice these, like cut them in half into little bite-sized pieces. This is going to give us a really good sweet element, and it'll help kind of cut through some of that spiciness almost of the red onion, okay? So it's going to help balance it out. Now, if you don't have dried cherries, you can do pretty much any other dried fruit will work. Even raisins, golden raisins is perfect for this, okay? But the cherries are a little bit more tart, even though they do have like a concentrated sugar. They're a little bit more tart, so they work really, really well with this, especially with like the spiciness of that onion and like the acidity of the balsamic. So it's a really, really, really good addition to this. And I'm obsessed with them. I use them in everything. I've seen dried cherries in recipes, and they say to soak them for about half an hour to get them to plump up. Yes, if you're serving them warm, yeah, you totally can. You don't need them in this. I don't need them to be rehydrated. They're fine the way they are. Like, you can eat these just like this, and they just taste good. So you don't need to rehydrate them for this recipe. So I'm just going to slice these. Hi, Suzanne. All right. And for those of you who are just hopping on, the full recipe is up above in the description. I do all my recipes live, as you can see. So the picture is not going to be there until afterwards. If you want to catch the full picture after the live feed is done, you can head over to my Instagram, which is @thefitlaw, or to my Snapchat, which is also @thefitlaw, where I will post a recipe of both. These are so good. All right, a couple more. They're very sticky though, so just be careful because they like to stick to everything. Vinaigrettes are really, really easy. I'm actually going to show you 2 different ways to do it. If you aren't like good at multitasking, I have a really, really simple way to do a vinaigrette. All right. You don't need a ton of the dried cherries. Like I said, like 8 to 10 is perfect because they are like a big pop of sweetness, so you don't really need a ton. I'm going to rinse my hands and stir these, because these are sticky. All right. These are starting to brown up a little bit, which is what I want. So I just want to keep an eye on those and make sure that they don't burn. Is this 21-day fix approved? It totally would be. The only thing I would leave out is the dried cherries, because they dried fruit is not approved in 21-day fix. But for the carrots and the onions and the lettuce, or in the spinach, obviously that's all a green container. The vinaigrette is approved. You can use it with an orange container. And for the pine nuts behind me, I use them personally for a blue because they are a nut. So I'm going to use, yes, I am using cheese in this. Shh, don't tell. But you could use that, and you could split your blue in half and use half for cheese and half for the pine nuts. Okay, we're going to grate some cheese. I have this awesome cheese grater, by the way. It's from Pampered Chef. I mean, look how cool this is. So it sits on top of a bowl, right? Or, boom, magic. Money. Little trick that I learned when I'm grating cheese. If you take a piece of just like freezer paper, and I think I'm done with my knife, I can get rid of that. Take a piece of freezer paper and stick your cheese grater on top of it, and then when you're done, you can literally just pick the whole thing up. It doesn't get all over your cutting board, it doesn't fly everywhere. It kind of keeps it all in one spot. These are making me nervous. I've burned pine nuts too many times. So I'm going to use cheese on this. Yes, I know. I usually don't eat cheese. This is Parm. We do, in rare occasions, eat like good Parmesan or like goat cheese, stuff like that. So we are using a little bit of cheese in this. I don't feel bad. I'm a glutton for punishment. I really like cheese. It just doesn't do well with my body. So I'll pay for it. I know, but it's worth it. Grating your own, I'm telling you, it's so much better. If you've ever bought pre-grated Parmesan or pre-grated cheese, if you look on the back, there's a recipe, or there's an ingredient in it. Let me find it, actually, because I have some in here. I'm telling you how bad it is, and I totally have some. Not in that one. Most of the cheeses that I look at, I gotta find the ingredient because I can't think about it. Most of them use sawdust in it to stop it from clumping. Because what happens if you grate normal cheese? It sticks together when you push it together, right? That doesn't happen with cheese that comes in a bag. It's not natural. They have to put stuff on top of it. So if you can grate your own cheese, I'm saying do it. It's worth the time. It's worth the extra little effort, okay? All right. Keep that off to the side here. All right, those are almost done. Boom. So I'm going to show you guys how to assemble these in some jars, okay? I'm actually going to get rid of this. How many of you guys have ever made mason jar salads? Check the pine nuts. Everybody's going, check the pine nuts. I promise I won't let them burn. Yeah, I know, they're here. They're doing good. They're toasting away. I actually have a jar that I usually put them in, so let me find that. So there it is. This is my pine nut jar. So we'll make sure to stick that back in there. Okay. Good. Toasty deliciousness. It if you're putting hot pine nuts into a jar, just be careful because you don't want to close it because then all that moisture is going to stay in there and it can make them moldy. So just wait till them to cool to room temperature before you put the lid on, okay? I don't know why I always try to do this with my hands. Like, it's not going to be easier with a spoon. Lauren, come on. Obviously, I don't need all of these. I did 2 entire bags. We don't need that. So if you're measuring these out, you could do this as a blue container for your 21-day fix. I would technically do half of this as a blue because obviously for every bracket, you only get one, and then the other half I would use for the cheese. So I'm going to keep these separate because I'm going to measure them out. All right, so we'll keep those back here. They are off the heat. Keep the lid off. Do not put it on until it's completely cooled. So leave it out and then put the lid on and stick it in your cabinet, okay? All right, we're gonna make some dressing and then I'll teach you kind of how to put this all together. So you guys can pick. We're gonna do a balsamic base. Now I'm gonna do half flavored and half regular. And I do that because the flavored balsamics are really, really strong and you don't need the entire thing, okay? How long do they last in the fridge? The jarred salads last about a week. I usually eat them before then. I'm gonna make 3 or 4, I think. Actually, however many I can get out of this. But they last about a week. And the way that you assemble them is specific to, like, it's a specific way to assemble them so that nothing gets soggy. You literally can just shake it. Like, so if you're at work, you can just shake the whole thing, bring a Tupperware container with you, pour it out, and everything's good to go. So you guys get to pick. We can do cinnamon pear. We can do a cinnamon pear vinaigrette or a black cherry vinaigrette. So you guys can pick. I'll give you a second, and we will go with that. So we're going to do a little bit of this 18-year. This is 18-year traditional balsamic. It's amazing. So good. So I'm going to pour about 1/8 of a cup in the bottom. And this is going to give you extra, okay? So you will have extra dressing, which is great, you know? I use this is also like if you have leftover and you want to pour this over your chicken or whatever, it's just really, really good. So we're going to use 1/8 cup of that. Okay, I have a bunch of cherries. All right, so let's do cherry because that's where we got the most. This cinnamon pear is really, really good, but it's so strong. It just smells good. All right. So I have 1/8 cup of the regular balsamic, 1/8 cup of the flavored, okay? These get sticky. I bet black cherry would go great with those dry cherries, yeah. Oh my gosh. Guys, if you've never had like good flavored balsamics, you just like, I feel like I'm huffing markers. Like I just stand here and I just smell them because they're so good. 1/8 cup of the cherry. So we're doing half and half, okay? Smells good. I don't know how many times I can keep saying that. Now, we're going to add a little bit of honey, okay? So I would talk, I'm going to say maybe like 1.5 teaspoons. It's really not that much, but make sure that you have good quality honey. This is just raw, wild, natural honey. Okay. And I have another honey that we got from when we were in Cancun, but it's really floral, so it's definitely got a different taste. And then I have just spicy brown mustard. Just a little bit. Again, it's about the same. It's about 1.5 teaspoons. It's not a ton. And yes, mustard. It's good. Trust me. Okay. Black pepper. And salt. I did not get the flavored balsamic from Trader Joe's. I have a local place called Old World Olive Company. Yeah, Old World Olive Company. They are online, I believe, and I think you can order from them, but they have like, I would say like 50 or 60 different variations of their balsamic vinegars, and they also have flavored olive oils. So I have like an orange, a blood orange olive oil. Like they have awesome stuff. So if you can order online, it's totally worth it. It's a little expensive, but I go there all the time. Like I go through this stuff like candy. Like I use it for everything. All right, now, if you are not good at multitasking, I can speak, you can just pour all of these ingredients in a mason jar and shake it, okay? You do not have to do this with a whisk, but I'm just going to show you how, if you don't have a mason jar and you want to do this with a whisk, just whisk all of these ingredients together. So remember that was the honey, the salt, the pepper, the balsamic, and the mustard. And then we're just going to pour. So with vinaigrettes, it's always a 2-to-1 ratio, which means you use half the amount of balsamic that you do to oil. So it's 2 to 1. So if you have 1/4 cup of balsamic, you use 1/2 cup of olive oil. If you have 1/8 cup of balsamic, you use 1/4 cup of olive oil. If you have a cup of this, you use 2 cups of this. Does that make sense? So it's 2 to 1, no matter what the amount is. So we're going to do 1/2 cup of olive oil because we use a total of 1/4 cup of balsamic. I'm giving you your math lesson for the day because that's how this works, okay? We have a place called Olive Branch. I would check that out. Yeah, totally do. We have a place near us I'm addicted to. Fig. Oh my gosh. I used to have a fig balsamic and it was to die for. It was so good. Just slowly drizzle this in and whisk as you go. Don't worry about it breaking or anything. There's nothing there's no like egg or anything in here to emulsify, so you should be good to go. But like I said, if you want to just pour everything in a jar and shake it up, you can do that too. Totally works. All right. Why don't you guys comment? Tell me your favorite salad dressing. I was a ranch girl for years. Like, it took me a lot. Like, it took a lot in me to get into this. Like, it was hard. But now I'm like balsamics all the way. But what kind of salad dressing do you like? Please do not say Thousand Island because that like hurts my heart. Hurts my heart. Don't say it. Okay, so let's assemble some of these. All right, I'm going to get rid of this cutting board. Just for anybody that's going to ask, this is a sill pad, and it's just kind of, I don't know how to explain the material, but I put it under my cutting board, but it's also good to put on baking sheets when you don't want stuff to stick. All right, stick that back here, get rid of this. Sweet Vidalia Onion Addict. Interesting, ranch. Strawberry poppy seed, anything balsamic, Caesar dressing. Yeah, Caesar dressing. I need to go live and do a Caesar dressing recipe because I have an amazing one. It's so easy. Raspberry vinaigrette. Ha ha ha, math. Yogurt ranch, just plain old mustard on my salads. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know if I can do that. That's a little much for me. So I'm going to do I'm going to do some 21-day fixin'. Are you guys ready? I'm starting tomorrow, so I need some prep. So I'm going to show you how to build 2 salads, okay? And we'll go from there. So I know that the cherries aren't approved. I'm going to use them anyway, but that's just me. Yes, I'm cheating. Shh, don't tell anybody. I never eat all my fruits, so I'm not really that worried about it. So this is my dressing container. So we're going to do that first, okay? I'm just going to tap my little whisk. I'm literally just going to dunk this. This is equivalent to about 2 tablespoons. So I'm just going to fill it like this. That works. And your dressing has to go on the bottom. Please do not forget that. It goes on the bottom, okay? If you don't need all of it, then you don't need to use all of it. That's fine. You can also use the other half for, like, you know, sunflower seeds. If you don't want to use your blue for pine nuts, if you want to go all cheese, I'm cool with that. I understand. I'm a cheese addict, too. I get it. All right. Then we do our hard vegetables, which is usually like, or your protein. So if you have chicken you want to put in here or anything like that, chicken would go next. Or like the carrots usually would go next. You're supposed to put your greens on top. I'm not putting, should we put chicken in the salad? I think we should put chicken in the salad. What do you think? Yes? Yes? I have it. We prepped it today. We're doing it. All right, this is gonna be my lunch tomorrow. So I prepped a bunch of chicken earlier. This is live cooking, guys. That's how it works. I'm gonna use my red container. This is gonna go next. What's nice about this is it's almost gonna marinate in the dressing a little bit. So it's perfect for that. This is really good with chicken. This salad's also really good with shrimp too. So we're gonna put our chicken in next, okay? And this is almost gonna act as like a barrier between our greens and our dressing so that it doesn't get soggy, right? And yes, I'm using my hands. No, I don't care. I don't want to hear about it. I'm eating this, not you. Okay. So chicken, I just cooked this off earlier, is next. Boom, good to go. And then greens, and then we'll stick our nuts on top. Now, with this, you could measure it. I'm not going to. The other thing I'm going to say too is if you're going to serve this with the dressing, please make sure that you season it. A lot of people do not season their salads, and I don't understand that. It's just like any other food, right? You want to put salt and pepper on it. You want to elevate the flavors. So just because it's raw doesn't mean you don't season it. And no, the dressing is not necessarily enough. So please, just like quick little bit of salt, quick little bit of pepper, okay? It will make a huge difference, I swear. I would need a bigger jar. How did you cook the chicken? So what I did is I just, I marinated it in some balsamic, some olive oil, a couple different spices. I marinated it for like 2 days, and then I just stuck it in the oven. Actually, that's not true. I did it on a grill pan, and then I stuck it and finished it in the oven. So we're still going hands with this. Now, you feel like you need a bigger jar, but you really don't. You can kind of shove a lot in here. And this is probably the messiest way to do this. You could probably do this with like a spoon or like tongs. But I'm not that fancy. You can fit so much more in here than you think. Like, stuff it full. Get it in there. Because you have that barrier, right, with the chicken, so don't worry about it. It's not gonna, nothing's gonna touch the dressing. Like, it's still got a barrier there. It's not gonna get soggy. All right? This just went from, like, awesome salad to, like, Lauren's got her hands in lettuce. Sticking them in a jar. Crazy turn of events, people. But normally... Okay, normally I would just put everything together on here. So I'm going to show you with this one. So now on top of your greens, cheese and nuts. So I have my little blue container. I'm going to do half and half. So I'm going to use half of the parm and half of the pine nuts, okay? So we'll just like scoop these in here. It's a lot more than what you think it's going to be too. Cheese. Boom. Let me use my spoon to like push this down. I'm making a huge mess. This is why my husband hates when I cook, because I just am like messy as crap. He gets to eat it, but then he has to clean up after me, and he's like, was this worth it? I don't know. All right. And I normally wouldn't do this on the container either because I usually, like, if you're not portioning, it's totally fine. Just, like, use your judgment. But look, that can go in the fridge for up to a week. Do you see the barrier right here? You see all the layers? Like, we have our dressing on the bottom, we have our chicken, and then we have our greens. So this, for me, would be one of my green containers, it would be my orange container, and it would be one blue and a red. So this is, like, a really great lunch, right? I'm going to pop this in the fridge, and I'm going to use this later. Now, when I'm ready to use it, I literally just pick it up and shake it. Like, that's all you have to do is just turn it over. All the dressing's gonna get all over that. Shake it up a couple times, right? And then just pour it on a sheet, like pour it in a freaking Tupperware container and you're good to go. If you wanna actually serve this, cheese, pine nuts go straight on here. I always bring the dressing on the side. That is my personal preference. I hate when people dress my salads. I always ask for it on the side at restaurants. I never know how much they're gonna do. So my personal preference when you're bringing a salad to like a gathering or you're serving other people is just keep the dressing on the side. Let them use their judgment and do it that way because some people don't want as much as you do. So that is my preference when it comes to salads. Any other last minute questions that you have? Your hands are your best utensils. I use them so much. Yeah, me too. Let's see. Vidalia onion, that was a popular one. Would love to see a Caesar salad recipe. We can totally do that. Okay, guys, that's pretty much all I have. I know that was a really quick recipe, but this salad is so stupid easy. Like, it's so easy. The vinaigrette's delicious. Like, go find some good balsamics. I swear it's worth it, okay? All right. I'm out. I'm going to prep the rest of these. If you guys want to see a full picture of a salad that I've done, or actually, like, maybe we'll put the jar up there. Please head over to my Instagram, which is @thefitlaw, or head over to my Snapchat to see the picture, which is also @thefitlaw. I will be live next week, Sunday, with another recipe. If you have any, I don't know, recommendations or something that you'd like to see me cook, put your comments below, and I will try to take those into consideration and add them to my list that I'm working down. Have a great day, guys. Thank you so much for hopping on. I'm so excited that you decided to join me, and I will talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.